My name is Brad and this is Supercoach Pro. Today's video we are doing the round 12 review. So in my score this week I scored top 2%, scored 2,062 points. Now moved into ranking 613. So we made a slight adjustment on the fly due to the fixture getting moved forward for the Richmond and West Coast game. So I actually did go early on a player that I wasn't going to go early on. I was going to pick him up after his bye. So we'll get stuck into the side and discuss what I did. So Mills scored 100. That's pretty solid for a defender. You'll take that. Still got a average of 112. Laird, I captained him because the midfield of Collingwood were down. They had no Grundy, so they had no hit-outs to advantage. So put two and two together, put Laird there. 144. He was my highest player for the scoring. So it worked out really good. He scored a total of 288 as captain. Short scored 78. I don't mind that because everyone else has him. And if you've got a low ceiling of 78 or 80, you'll take that any day. People want to trade out Ridley. I don't blame you. He still scored 80 though, so I'll take that any day of the week. 75 for Bianco. He played really solid. I went early on him because I needed bench cover in my back line. 75. He had a few free kicks for himself, a few really good tackles, which gave him the ball, and so that really helped his score there. Then you look at Oliver there, scored 94. He, really disappointing for vice captain. You want a vice captain to go about 125, 130. Didn't do that at all, so that was really disappointing. But look, Western didn't pay 730,000. Don't know how I can really justify this trade this week, but had to get him. He was burning me, and he scored 177 against Brisbane last year. And I guess I just didn't want that to go against me because I didn't have a great captaincy option this week in my view of the fixture. McRae again, 129, really solid. You'll take that if you did captain him. Doesn't normally play well at Optus, so really good move if you did that. 140 to steal. That looks really good pickup as well. Like I just picked him up last week when he scored 150. So he's given me 290 in the last 2 weeks of owning him, which is fantastic. Merritt 137 now. Richmond don't tag, so that was a logical captain choice if you went for him as well. So he racked it up. Couldn't get the win on the board, but he still played fantastic, and so did Parrish. If you captain him, wow, he scored about 166. So that's awesome for you guys. Walsh 124, started off like a house on fire. Doesn't have the durability that we all rave on about, because if he had that great durability, he'd be scoring 160, and he'd have his first half like his last. Other way around. Brayshaw got scaled down 5 points. At the end of the game, he was 125. He found the ball everywhere, especially when Fife went off and players like that. That helped his scoring. Hopefully helps his scoring from now on because Fife was dislocated his shoulder. 82 from Jordan. Don't blame me if you upgraded to him and needed someone like a Bont or Oliver this week for him. Still really solid. Might have to trade him this week. We'll discuss that in Thursday's video. 27 to Dawkins. I think he had about 9 or 10 touches for the game. Most of them contested, but just don't think he uses the ball that well. Then we had Hickey 136. Had to really go him because look, Hickey at 136, he's my captain against Gawn, so I need him to do well. He's now at 512,000, bought him in for 386k, so that's been a good cash move as well at the same time. I haven't had to pay overs for a guy that's matching Gawn. So that's how I look at it anyway. Coleman Jones, 86. He kicked 2 goals, had 10 hit-outs. Went a little bit quiet in the last half because they sort of blanketed him. But it allowed other players in Richmond's midfield to score goals because I was so heavily focused on keeping Rewalt and Coleman Jones quiet. So Grundy, we might trade. I don't advocate trading premiums, but he is at a high price, so he could make a fair few upgrades in the midfield for us, especially because we've got a bit of bank up there as well. Now we go down. We have a look here. Zorko, 122. He'll get suspended. Hopefully he gets off with it today or tomorrow, whenever they do the tribunal. He's just doing Zorko things when he does that. You bring in a player and you think, I hope you don't get injured or punch someone, very much like the Toby Green factor, and he does that. So we'll give 600k, so it's probably out of reach for most supercoaches who don't have good cash generation on the side. Zeeble and Hall didn't play. Martin 102. a bit annoying because he had 27 touches and 3 goals, so maybe he didn't use the ball too effectively. I thought he played great. 89 to Poulter, he was everywhere. They used him out of half back. He's the first kick out from the kick ins, if you haven't noticed that. Waitman 80, he was lucky to get an 80. So the reason why he got 80 was he had a free kick against him, then someone gave away a 50-metre penalty, and then he kicked the goal. So it was about 25 points in that one passage alone. Look, I won't go into vice captain and captain options today. Way too early. Also too early to go into trade discussions because I actually didn't go Heaney last minute because I went Flynn for Coleman Jones because the game got moved forward. It was getting talked about on Friday while I was moving, and I was thinking, if the game does get moved forward, maybe I should just bring in Coleman Jones early because I can't see why the AFL wouldn't bring in the Richmond and West Coast game a week early. So I went early on Jones. You don't normally do that with rookies. Scored 86 because Richmond didn't field any other ruckman but Chol. So that's the logic for that reason. And I wanted to give Grundy one more week and assess the situation there. A lot of people brought in Nick Nat, who only scored like a 121. So, look, if you did that trade, it feels like a bit of a wasted pick because Nick Nat didn't go 170, 180 like some people were bragging he would. So, he just doesn't got the tank. And the thing I noticed about that West Coast and Carlton game is when West Coast are going for kickouts, he's not the one leading up, and he's a big dude, so you'd think he'd lead up to the ball, want that mark, and he can kick it down the line because he is a good kick when he does lower his eyes. He can butcher it though. So that was really interesting if you did bring him in. I obviously traded out Warner, brought in Oliver. Warner scored 39. I didn't think he'd retain his 60s. So that was just the right move at the right time. And then obviously Flynn for Jones. And then my last one, Bianco for Chapman. Those moves all make sense to themselves. We'll discuss vice captain option, footy tipping, all that in the Thursday video. Hopefully I don't do a last minute trade because I know I did say, I was going to make the Heaney move. I went cold on Heaney because, a few reasons. Mainly because the Richmond fixture got moved forward. Heaney had 31 at quarter time. Looked like he was going to go 100 again. I thought, wow, should have really trusted my gut instinct and got Heaney. But like I said in this video, if you didn't go for Heaney this week, it was now or never. And hopefully he doesn't burn you guys for the rest of the season. But, I do apologise for saying I was going to get Heaney and didn't, but I just had other situation when that game was going to get moved forward. It all made sense to me not to. Now, have rambled on a little bit. Those are the moves I did do. Obviously, you can see on the right-hand side. Rankings. So this was the team of the week. Obviously, it's a bit of a cheat. These guys haven't played all the matches. They've waited to see who's playing well in the first 1 or 2 games, which is stupid. I hope they never catch up to that top 20,000. Look, he's overall 94,000, so no one we're ever got to worry about. He's got no cash generation, so he's an absolute Spartan cheat. So this does frustrate me that Supercoach does allow teams to still be made after round 1. He's got high scores because of people like Pods, like Crisp, that not many people have. Obviously, he's just got a good midfield here that's so solid. You don't even have to explain that. O'Brien, he probably brought in for Grundy, this peanut. And he's still got Tex. He's got Sidebottom for some reason. He's got Bolton. He's got just a lot of pods. So, he's nowhere near it, though. He's 21,000, and you look at total points, if you actually do that, he's still 6,000 off number 1. Now, number 1 ranking side, I don't normally go into these things, but he's got a really common side, so the only way to beat him is to probably bring in pods that he doesn't have, especially in the back line and midfield, because he's got all the main guys here. Scroll down a bit, he's got a pretty common midfield with Oliver, Bonds, McRae, Steele, Walsh, similar to mine. Petrarca's a little bit of a pod, 16%. But he's still got players like Mitchell. He's running a dead rookie at 8 and 5, so he brought in Reeves a week early, which I don't understand that, because if he's got a shoulder injury, he's wasted a trade on that move. And then, he still hasn't got rid of Warner, so that's good for us. He's got Peanut Tracy, who's reset his break-even, who looked like he's going to do nothing. So, look, we might be able to catch him. I do have a slight idea how we can. To catch this guy is going to be a massive move if you do, and if you get even close, congratulations to you guys. Now, realistically, to do that, like I said, you have to get pods. So, when I'm talking about pods, I mean players that are on less than 5% of sides. So we might discuss that on Thursday. Obviously, if you don't already know, we get 2 extra trades because of the bye fixture change. We can use 4 this week, as you can see here, and 4 next week. But it does stuff up my side, not for this week, because this side's okay for next week, as you can see there. And that's with bench players not even playing on there yet. And look, round 14 bye is the one that's going to kill everyone, including myself. So we might have to do a bit of a Grundy trade here. Maybe if he's not announced for a few more weeks than they think, it could be something to look into. I honestly never know trades, probably till even 5 p.m. on the Friday. So I do apologise if I do make a slight change from the Thursday night video to a Friday 5 p.m. video and I can't get it out quick enough. Anyway, if you liked the video, definitely leave a thumbs up. Now, I'm an idiot because I found out last week when I was talking to the misso that my comments on YouTube were turned off. So if you do want to leave a comment this time, leave a comment because they are turned back on. Had no idea this whole time I've been running live that they'd been turned off. So comments are on. If you do want any advice, let me know. I can shoot you a reply there. I will definitely not ignore them for sure. I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already anyway. I will see you in the next one, and hopefully I can talk you through some advice going into the week. Catch ya.